Hello. As you know, the buzzword for HR nowadays is employee engagement. What does that actually mean? It means how do we get people to have a emotional attachment, emotional drive to do their best at work. So in this short presentation, I'd like to share with you the latest proven technology about how to increase engagement at work. First of all, who is Action Coach? If you've heard of the brand before, we are a business coaching and executive coaching franchise from the US. The good thing about working with Action Coach, you're always working with proven strategies to increase business results, systems, and team performance. We were born in 1993 by this gentleman here called Brad Sugars, and now we are in over 60 countries with over 700 coaches around the world. We work with the best partners to deliver to you only proven methods to get you results. Our team in Action Coach South Jakarta were made up of brilliant people who work not only with results, but with care, culture, and hopefully we'll meet you soon. Now, when we look at the Engage and Grow program, we partner with an Australian company called Engage and Grow, where this gentleman, Richard Maloney, on the far left, has worked with lots of corporations, sports teams. He himself is a performance coach, and he has certified 3 of our coaches, Coach Marvin, Coach Yunita, and Coach Shahyadi, to deliver the Engage and Grow program in Indonesia. Just in 2016 alone, we've got over 9 case studies that are amazing in terms of their results with local Indonesian companies, bigger and medium size, where they have implemented this Red Belt Engage and Grow program, and they've got amazing results. What they say about the program, what they say about us is, for example, Zap is now the top 3 beauty clinics in Indonesia. Their company has grown so fast, and that's why they needed the program. They have a combination of new leaders, and they wanted to eliminate the gaps. This is very important program, not just for the owners, for him to be able to let go of his company more confidently to his leaders, but also for the team who needs to be groomed in their leadership and also engaging them with each other. A family business and professional company called Diamond Storage, as many of you might have just recognized the brand. This is an amazing story also of a succession plan from the father to the successor, the son, and the management team. And again, this program has opened the insight of the directors and also engaged the internal managers to the next level. Go Girl Magazine, great teen magazine companies, synergies are formed because of this program, and it also helps the internal communication. So you can see a lot more testimonials out there. There's also some on YouTube. You can see that what I'm going to present to you today is not just any system, but it is a proven system for you. We have our ongoing clients, and some of them have actually posted their testimonial as well on YouTube, such as Why Digital Kometal and Kreasi Art. So let's talk a little bit about employee engagement and why that's so important. It is an emotional commitment the employee has to the organization and its goals. I mean, it's nice to work with logic and with your mind and with your brain, but employee engagement is where we start engaging the heart. And now you can argue that there's a lot of smart people in the workplace. However, how many % of them are actually working with heart? And with heart to what? Now, employee engagement, I believe, is in 4 parts. You've got to have the engagement of the employee to the company, meaning that they like working there, they believe in your vision as a company, and they believe in you as the leader and the team. They like working with a team, they respect and like working with the leader. They feel like they're emotionally committed to the people inside the company. But also, now with the age of self-direction, people want to set their own goals. People want to have self-actualization. It is so important to remind the employees that they never really work for a company. They never really work for a job. They work for themselves and their families. And it's important for them to reconnect with their internal drive for excellence, which is coming from their own dreams. So if all this time you've been operating and trying to motivate your team just based on logic, incentives, targets, rules, you can be very surprised just how ineffective that is becoming nowadays. Nowadays, the workforce want to be self-driven, and this engagement to their own goals and their dreams is something that big companies, I believe, have forgotten about. And we'll see that it is very crucial in playing the role of team engagement in this employee engagement program. So let's look at some stats. Gallup study. In Southeast Asia, the number of percentage of engaged employees is only 12%. That is very low compared to, of course, Western countries like United States, Australia, but we're not doing that bad. I mean, come on, look at sub-Saharan Africa, 10%. We could feel a little bit better about ourselves. Now, what it says is that disengagement is not uncommon. It is very common nowadays to have a lot of employees, but have very little to be engaged. I mean, let's take a look at your employees now. Look at this chart. We try to help you measure employee return on investment. You see, let's say you hire someone, you pay them like a 5 million rupiah salary. The question is, what's their return on investment? Are they giving you just 5 million rupiah back, or an equivalent value like a break even? Are they actually ripping you off by performing much less than what you've paid them to do? Or are they bringing more and going above and beyond your call of duty, and they're contributing more? So here we have 3 main levels of employee ROI. The green, you'll have creative excitement, wholeheartedly committed. That's a 6 and a 5 rating. And then you'll have people who are just there. They're happy, they're loyal, they're okay. And that's the blues, cheer for cooperation at level 4, willing compliance at level 3. And then you'll have the internal sabotagers, which is the 2s and the 1s. They consciously disobey you, or they're just a complete rebel and they're ready to quit. So I want you to take a moment right now. Just look at this chart. Think of your employees, and for the most part, what would be the average score in your corporation? Yep, some of you are saying 4 or 3. Some of you might say, well, the senior leaders are at 6 and 5, but for the rest of the companies are 4 and 3s, and even 2 to 1s if you're really, really honest with yourself. Okay, so again, this is just a little measure. Let's keep going. So what's the key here? The key is to implement this organizational success formula. You see, when everybody comes into the organization, for lack of a better word, they're like sheep. Whatever rule you put on them, they follow. And then they start achieving things. And then they start having that recognition for themselves or their department. And they become from a sheep to a me mindset. It's the ego mindset. It is me, my department, silo. Now, the challenge that we're facing right now is how to convert from a me to a we, and if possible, not even go through the me process at all. And that's what we call the organizational formula. And you'll see these 2 arrows on both sides. What they're saying is that eventually, when you've got the we culture down, and one of them is through this engage and grow, what we are trying to get is that even when new sheep come in, they see no me culture, it's just going straight up to we. They get the impression firsthand that said, this is not a me culture type of company. This is a we culture. So they get it right off the bat. So employee engagement has been tried to be solved in many, many ways. First of all, many companies have even tried to engage us for workshops, etc. And, to be fair, we used to do these things as well. And we still do. I mean, if that is really what you think you need. Workshops. The great thing about workshops, it's highly educational. There's team bonding in there. Everybody learns together. The bad thing about workshops, it's like a 1, 2, 3 day thing, and then everybody goes back to their regular habit. Now, employee engagement is about social connection. Employee engagement strategies is about creating this and making it a habit of the organization, a culture of the organization. Sometimes just a 2 to 3 day workshop isn't going to do it. So there's another approach. Some people have tried one-on-one coaching, getting one of your leaders to come and be coached. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with leadership coaching. I think it has a place. However, when it comes to team engagement, it's like this, one-on-one coaching and leadership development, like sending your 1 or 2 leaders out abroad for like 2-3 days training and then bring them back here. It's kind of like if you have a very dirty pond and you take 2 to 3 fish out, clean them up, and then put them back in the dirty pond and say, go clean up the pond. It's not that they don't want to, it's maybe not even because they're not capable to, but the cleaning the pond takes a lot more than just 2 to 3 fish, even if they are the head fish. It requires a group effort, and it requires other fish not wanting to dirty the pond again. So that's why one-on-one coaching and just working on the leader or leadership development sometimes doesn't always work. And some organization just says, I'm just going to give you more bonus. If you get more engaged, you get more bonus. Maybe that's a short-term solution. I hardly find that that is the solution that works all the time, however. So the conclusion to this is engagement cannot be trained. Why not? Well, let's take a look at some of the trends in the new world of work as presented by Josh Person, who happens to be a head researcher who often works with Deloitte to supply them HR research. Look at the HR trends. Culture, engagement, leadership gaps, learning and development are the top 3 trends in business. So if you are experiencing these things, congratulations, join the club. Don't feel bad about it. You're normal. So that's the HR trends. And this is why it's so important for us to talk about this. If you look at training and why it's starting not to work, it's because if you ask most people what do they want and how do they want to learn, they don't want to learn. Well, training is rated number 7. So there's 6 other ways they prefer to learn more effectively: sharing knowledge, web search, meet and talk to people, networking, reading news and blogs, etc. But the top 3 is just sharing knowledge with the team, researching yourself, and meeting and talking with others, which is exactly what we're trying to aim with this Engage and Grow program. And let's take a look at the millennials. 65% of talents in the workplace is Generation Y. They are born in 1980 and beyond. Now, 60% say, if I've worked in your place for 7 months, dang it, I'm loyal. I mean, some of you senior managers listening to this may be chuckling and said, are you kidding me? 7 months? Try 7 years, honey. Well, in millennial terms, it's 7 months. So we are experiencing a generation who is less patient than the others. 80% want to give performance appraisals to the boss. Hey, but again, this is a generation that believes in two-way communication. So if your engagement is low, one thing you might want to think about is how is your leadership? How is the older generation treating the new? 2/3 want to be creative. Fantastic. Give them a way to do that. Their teammates are more important at work than their boss. Now, this is interesting because when an engagement, if you have an engagement program and it's all top down, it's hardly going to work because nowadays the importance of the team is a lot greater than just listening to the boss. Expect feedback weekly and progress annually. So again, they want to talk to you. They want to be engaged. So when we're dealing with millennials, and it's surprising, it's not just the younger people these days. For some reason, thanks to the introduction of internet, even older generation workers are starting to see these trends. This is not just a millennial trend, in my opinion, in my experience dealing with various clients. We are seeing this in Generation X people as well. I don't know why. Maybe they think they're younger than they are. I don't know. But that's Generation Y. And look at this as well, the age of teams. Let's look at some of the trends of HR nowadays. The evolution of management thinking. Back in the days of 1950s, and some of us are still alive, we were employed in the industrial corporation. That's the Andrew Carnegies. That's the Henry Fords. These are the eras where my parents were working, right? Or actually, no, my grandparents were working. If you worked for a big company, if you worked for a big brand, dang it, you're proud. It's kind of like, oh, I work for blah, blah company. It's a big brand. I work for IBM. I work for Astra. I work for whatever. That was hot. I work for Henry Ford. That was hot. So the corporation is king. Then you go into the next phase, which is hierarchical leadership, which is in the 60s, 80s. This is when my parents were working. This is the part of the executive. The executives were the king. If you had a CEO called Jack Welch, dang, you must have been in a great company. He is the god. So you had the executive ego. Then comes the age in the 1990s of Howard Schultz, Steve Jobs, all these people who said, I want to listen from the people on the ground. And these are like the age of people are king. But now what we're entering is no longer just people are king. We realize we need teams, and now it is the age of teams. The teams and the team leaders are kings. So you will see organizations, and you might feel it already in yours. You will have a project, let's say waste management project, and that's going to go for 6 months, and then you'll pull out leaders from different areas, and the leader does not have to be the highest ranked person in the team, but they are the ones with the most leadership coordination or technical expert in that area perhaps. And then after that waste management project is finished, the team separates back into their normal jobs and roles until the next project. Okay, so again, the reality is that yes, we have this hierarchy, how things look, organizational structure on the left, but how things really are is that we are just a network of teams. And if we look at one department compared to the rest, we need to have a way to be able to work together as multiple teams communicating together. That's why the Engage and Grow program says that the key to successful team engagement is not just about training, workshop, coaching one or two people, but it's about creating a social connection and team collaboration among the team members. So it's about engaging the heart and the brain. And how we do that, in 12 weeks, this proven program takes 4 to 12 leaders or employees, 1 hour a week for 2 weeks, for 12 weeks, and the coach comes to your premises. It connects all employees. And it's based on neuroscience. I'll show you the details of the program later, but I just want to show you the thinking behind designing this program. You see, if people need to be engaged, you got to motivate them. They got to want to be engaged. And we know that there are 7 key neurological motivators: pain, pleasure, reward, punishment. That's normal. But nowadays, we also see the bottom 3, which is self-direction, self-improvement, transcendent purpose. So again, you've got to get them to buy into the idea that, gee, I need to be engaged. I want to be engaged. My life's going to be better if I am engaged. My job's going to be easier if I'm engaged. They've got to see that as a personal benefit rather than seeing that as just a way to make you happy with them. And then we know that human beings have 6 basic human needs, core human needs. So in that program, we also feed their core human needs: the need for love, the need for certainty, the need for connection, significance, contribution, everything. And then we also understand that human beings have many ways to learn. And in order to engage them in your way of learning, this is not just a one-way thing. This is a lot of activities, interactions, games that they can not only see it, hear it, feel it, but they can discuss it, they can experience it, and they also have the chance to teach it. So the 12-week component, and I can tell you more details when I see you, is basically a 12 component that we display within the program. So first of all, in the program, we really get collective buy-in and accountability from everybody that, you know what, being engaged is something we are going to do together, and because we believe in it, not because somebody told us to. Second, the staff creates their own engagement strategy, and the coach is there to facilitate them. Third, rewards and recognition come from the team. So if somebody is absent, if somebody does not do their leadership act, it is not the coach or the boss that reminds them or gives them a reprimand them. It is the team. And everybody's going to create one behavior that they're going to improve and benchmark against. And that's called the collective behavioral benchmarking, and we will see the growth and track the growth. Number 5, very important. Again, this is all about social connection. It's about sharing stories to ensure human understanding. It's about me telling you more about me. having you understand where I come from, and then you telling me more about you. Stories such as, what makes you the person that you are right now? And you'd be amazed. Just, well, first of all, it does get to be quite touching and emotional, understanding each other at that deep level. But on the other hand, it also helps you understand the person from that person's perspective and stop judging them. Then you'll have individual behaviors and goal setting. Along the way, the coach starts taking a back seat. The coach no longer facilitates the meeting. So certain emerging leaders will start chairing the meeting. And then, because this program also requires you to think about some KPIs you want to meet, some of the things we will discuss together as a team is, how do we improve our business systems and procedures? How do we communicate better and align with the company vision? What are some of the creative thinking and innovation that we need to do to achieve these KPIs? And these are real things that is discussed. That's why when you see the results of this program, this is not just a program that's where everybody holds hands and sings Kumbaya together and give each other warm, fuzzy hugs. These are actually programs that gets your KPIs met. And I'll show you a little bit about our client achievement in terms of business KPI later. And the final thing is about brand awareness and social responsibility. Part of the things that may get people engaged in your company and in your leadership is that they feel like they're part of something that matters. And this is important in terms of having something like that for your employees to be proud of. So these are the 12 components of the 12-week program. And for more information, you can always ask us. What happens in 6 weeks? This was one of the few testimonials that we've been getting, but we've been tracking this more detailed. So in 6 weeks, this is what you can expect. I mean, some people have reported this. What I see here is a list of things that typically HR people want us to help them with. And if you can get this in 6 weeks, my question is, how many years have you been waiting for this to happen? And if you can get this in 6 weeks, is that fast enough? So that's why we also see that Engaged and Grow program actually has real business results. And this is just some of the things that you can enjoy along with some of the testimonials that you've heard before. When the team is socially more engaged, they actually know how to work better together. You stop being the referee on a daily basis, trying to end arguments, put out fires, etc. They actually start talking to each other. They start making decisions together. They start helping each other instead of always going back to you. Okay. And the result is, of course, safety is better, turnover is less, absenteeism is less, customers also get engaged, creativity, profitability, and productivity also goes up, among many things. As you can see, people who have used this program in Indonesia as well as outside have gotten real business results as well. It's not just a Sing Kumbaya program, right? It's about sales, it's about bottom line, it's about happiness in their teams. So perhaps I just want to close with this thought. Instead of investing so much in product innovation and everything, which I'm sure is very important, but perhaps the number one greatest competitive advantage today is social connection. Imagine this. Competitors can copy your products and services. It's no longer about who makes the best service and products, but it's also about how you deliver it, how smooth, how seamless, how together your team looks in front of the market. So that's why I think investing in an Engage and Grow program, and perhaps that's why it's such a buzzword now, because companies like you understand this. It's no longer about the product and the technology. The greatest asset you have is your people. So what's the next step? If you are interested to talk to us more about this, and if you are thinking of implementing this in your company, talk to us and get a free employee engagement survey. Email this email to us, and we'll get you that absolutely free. We'll guide you on how to do it. It's absolutely simple, and it's a great opening point and a talking point. And then what we'll do is we'll send one of the coaches, maybe myself or some of my colleagues, will help you diagnose what does your employee engagement survey means, and if you were to implement some kind of a program, what would be the best one for you. The The point of our service is to make sure you have the best and most appropriate program to solve your needs. Not too much, not too little. So I hope this presentation has been engaging. I hope this presentation has been useful. Please feel free to share to your friends and colleagues who you think might need to understand more about how to engage their employees. And I hope to see you on the other side. I hope you contact us, and I hope we get to meet face to face so we can help you better. All the best. Thank you.